put that stuff aside and come together. You know, I'm not saying that you guys can't do good work or that you're not doing good work, but I'm telling you, you are not capable of doing the work that is within your potential because you guys are so divided. You know, even like I say, when we were going through the ballots, they can all tell you, you guys are evenly split. You guys are like the Democrats and the Republicans.
That's a terrible thing to say.
But I will tell you, you will not fix this unless you are intentional about coming together and working together.
Amen.
You know, and I say this when I do training to people. We are all on the same team. We all supposedly want the same things. If we can't move our ideas through a group that we all participate in voluntarily that's trying to do the same things, you will always get eaten up when you go outside here. You will always get eaten up because your divisions are too great. But I'm asking all of you, do everything you can. If your candidate won, wonderful. If your candidate didn't win, so what? Come together for the greater good and move the organization forward. It's a democratic organization, which means on any given issue, maybe you win, maybe you lose. In the election, maybe you win, maybe you lose. Every motion that hits the floor, maybe it goes your way, maybe it doesn't. But you trust in the collective wisdom of the body. In this instance, the body has spoken. We sent out the letters, everybody had their opportunity to come out and vote. There was a controversy about whether or not or who would be on the ballot. I took it all the way to the president and CEO and the chair of the Membership and Units Committee. We went through the process. Now we have an end result. So can we please, y'all, please, just move forward.
So you've gone through this before. Would you, based upon your own experience, give us what you think is a plausible solution to coming together?
The work outside, I really believe that, and I know this sounds trite, but please just trust me on it. Just turn around, just look at each other real quick, because I want y'all to understand something about that. You guys are people who fight as a hobby. Get that? Think about that. You fight as a hobby. You don't get paid for this. You spend your own money to do it. You fight for people who you don't know.
Right.
You fight for people who are not always grateful for the fact that you are fighting.
Right.
If you are not focused on the fight on the outside, a room full of people who fight as a hobby, you're going to fight on the inside. Wherever I see infighting like this, it is indicative of the fact that the work on the outside is not getting done sufficiently.
Thank you.
Because I can tell you, in every community I've gone to, I know you still got a suspension and expulsion crisis. I know I can probably drive around the community and identify the black neighborhood by how tore up the streets are. I'm sure you got a problem with minority contracting and you don't have enough adequate summer jobs for youth because the city is probably not giving you that money. I'm sure if you were to add up your city budget, plus your county budget, plus your school board budget, and you put all of those together, you probably got close to $1 billion, of which your community probably gets about 1%. If you are not fighting those things, a room full of fighters will turn on each other.
Sure will.
So the way to move forward, you're not going to ever be able to get everybody to have an agreeable personality, because agreeable personalities don't survive in the NAACP. I fight often. I fight well. Given the right set of circumstances, I will fight a roll of paper towels. And I will absolutely win, because that's how I get down. But I understand, the one thing I've understood over this time is if you're going to be successful with this organization, you got to keep it focused on the fight on the outside, because as soon as you lose sight of that, everybody's going to turn inward and start talking about, well, I don't like the secretary, well, the secretary don't like the treasurer don't like the president, and then the whole thing falls apart.
Thank you, sir.
Let me say this, and I'm going to leave.
You can't leave.
Yes, I am. I'm going to leave. Now, let me say this, and I'm very sincere about what I'm saying now. I've been here before, and I'm back again. But come back again is going to be a reorganization. want you to understand what that means. When you read, or that means no one who's currently holding a position will be able to run for a position. I want you all to understand that. I am tired. I'm seriously, I am tired of this. And when I'm leaving here, I have to go to another branch. Same stuff. I am tired. So I'm giving you ample advice. You are far more intelligent than I will ever be. You have more energy than I have. And I want this branch to be successful. But each of us need to want the same thing. Mm-hmm. Our approaches may be different. Yeah. But the goal must always be in front of us.
That's right.
Thank you
Yes.
for what you're doing.
Adjourn. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming down. It has been a tough journey. And as you have said, we have invested, this team that has done the work has invested a lot of money and a lot of time to manage the mission of the NAACP. And in spite of what the Tampa Bay Times said, we work as a team. What we don't control is the people that aren't even on the team that show up and disrupt. I have been a part of this organization since I was 16 years old. And what I know is that the mission, the true mission, was being done as evident by the compliance with the national, the compliance with the state conference, in spite of what we're being told. The amount of money that has been raised, the number of hearings that we attend, the number of people that we have gotten back in housing, back in jobs. You don't do that if you don't function as a team. And the arms are open to anybody that comes to the table that wants to work the mission of the NAACP. Do we always get along? No. Absolutely not. But what we always come to the table on are the results of the people, and we got it to prove. That's the piece that we can't control, Mr. Miles and Mr. Brown, is when people decide outside or wherever the outside is that they're going to disrupt. That's the piece, that the conversation we got to have is how do you manage that? Because our organization is not in turmoil.
But let me, I will say this, and this is president, because I've been in that role. You just, it really comes to you. You just got to figure out a way, even when you find those folks who have a difficult time finding their place inside of the structure. I don't want to go too deep in the weeds, but there's an idea called organizational drift, right? If everybody is not on the same page about what you are doing and why it's important, then everybody is free to imagine their own reasons for why they are there and what's important. And people will start to resent each other because they feel like you are pulling away from a mission, even though that mission may be something that they created themselves, right? Just because everybody's not clear. So back to your question about next steps, one of the things you have to do is you got to be very, very clear. Everybody has to be very clear on exactly what you're doing and why. What you may find is there may be some people who are there and the actual thing that you're trying to do may not be their thing. That's okay. I mean, in Donate, we got branches that will break up in fights because they mad that they not spending all their money on scholarships. They mad because this, that, and those things may not even be connected to the mission. But as the president, I'm saying this just, you've got to be the one that really makes sure that everybody is on the same page in terms of exactly what you're doing and why. And literally, you got to come low. Because I can tell you, there's been many times, and I will say this, because I know all of the challenge you guys have. You can be in the NAACP your whole life. If you've never been the president of a branch, you ain't never been the president of a branch. It's not the same thing, right? Everybody else in the branch can be NAACP when you want to, and then when you don't want to, you don't have to. When you're president, you are the president 24 hours a day. Everywhere you go, the NAACP went. Everything you say, the NAACP said. That's a special kind of pressure, right? So I understand the frustration that comes with that when you feel like you carrying this thing and then people are not on board, but you got to breathe. And the NAACP as a branch can be no more welcoming than you are personally. I don't know you, right? So I'm not making a criticism. I'm not even making a critique. I'm just making a generalized statement that moving forward has to be something that the people who are the most, when y'all were arguing in them text messages at 1 and 2 in the morning.
That's sad.
But what I'm saying is the folks who are arguing are the same folks you got to win back over. And you got to have them at the table. And that is the measurement. That is the determination as to when you guys are pulling it together. Because everybody in here, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, everybody here is doing this out of their own pocket, using their own gas, using their own car. Your family members think you're crazy. You didn't spend up all your vacation time running around doing NAACP stuff. Everybody in here, no matter what side of the argument you're on, is doing the same things. So we got to just make sure that we pull them folks together. Hold on, I want to let her. Yes, ma'am.
We got the tally back here, I kind of like the tally was
59 to 45.
49 to 45.
For which office?
That's
We're gonna
President.
post it. We're gonna post it.
It's gonna be posted,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
and sent out by the secretary, I think.
Where is it? See, that's nice.
On the door.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Tim.
I think if the focus shifts to what is right and not who is right, Jesus, this could be everything that it needs to be. And I can say that because my grandfather used to go to Rainbow Push in Chicago every day of his life up until he was and we were taught 50 people could be in a room together and disagree on whatever it is they disagree about, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, when you do what is right, everything else will come together.
I'm gonna steal that, and I'm gonna tell you like one of my pastor friends told me. The first time I say it, I'm gonna attribute it to you. The second time I say it, I'm gonna say a wise person once said. The third time,
It's yours.
it's mine. It's all mine.
We're gonna have to honor this church, and I wanna thank the pastor for allowing us
Thank you,
to
thank you.
be here this evening. Thank you immensely. And I want to thank all of you who took the time out of your busy day to be with us, to make certain that this election was conducted as fairly as we possibly could. I will be coming over here to do some training, I guarantee you that. And we will, mark my word, we're gonna follow through on what I said. If we don't get it together, we're gonna have to right the ship. God bless you. Could you lead us in a word of prayer?